Richard Hart sacrificed $18 billion to the PulseX sacrifice. That means that he's going to control over 80% of the entire supply of PulseX tokens. Now, so today we're talking about, is centralization of ownership a good thing or it's a bad thing, right? Because I think that's an important question so that everybody understands what expectations to have in terms of price performance of PulseX tokens. Now, I think it's both good and bad, and it depends with the current circumstances of the cryptocurrency. First of all, the one thing that drives price appreciation is when people buy and hold. So the best thing any cryptocurrency can have is people who have diamond hands, people who don't have to take profits at any point, right? And Richard Hart fits that bill. He obviously is a billionaire, we all know, right? So he doesn't need to sell his PulseX token. So that's a good thing. That's a big plus for the PulseX tokens. And he has a history of never selling Hex tokens as well, which is another cryptocurrency that he created. He never sold any Hex ever since for over 2 years that it's existed. He's never sold Hex. So that's a good thing as well. So we can expect the same. So it's reasonable to expect that he's probably not going to sell his PulseX tokens as well. So when you have someone who's a diamond-handed person, it's a good thing when he holds a large supply of the coins. Now, the design of the tokenomics of PulseX means that over time, he's going to hold even more PulseX. Because here's the thing, if he doesn't sell his PulseX tokens, that means that he's not going to pay any transaction fees. That means none of his PulseX are going to get burned. But people who are trading their PulseX, buying and selling and trading between different cryptocurrencies, they will have to pay transaction fees. A portion of that transaction fees will get burned. So their supply will be dwindling over time, but Richard Hart's supply will remain stagnant and most likely will grow, right? If he's providing liquidity and all that, he'll be earning some PulseX tokens as well. So not only is he going to be a massive whale who does not sell, he's also going to be in a position where he's accruing more tokens. I do believe that over time he might sell at some point, because obviously if he's a validator and he's earning fees, he might want to maybe cash out some of those fees for the validating expenses and things like that. I do expect him to sell at some point, but I don't expect him to sell anytime in the next 5 years. I think he's very, very diamond-handed. And if you listen to him, he says that the biggest mistake most people made was selling after a 10x and the coin goes on to do a million x. So I do expect him to hodl for the long term. Now, this does not apply to every other project, right? If you see the founder, XRP founders, they've been selling their XRP for a long time. The Chainlink founder, he's been selling his Link for a long time. Vitalik sells Ethereum regularly. So in some cases, it's important to know that sometimes the teams do sell coins, and whenever they do sell, that drives the price down. So it's not always good to have centralized ownership in those circumstances. And for those, I think it's important to understand this, because I think a lot of projects are going to be coming to the Pulse Chain ecosystem, and they will launch different coins, and some of them will have massive centralized ownership, and they will come and tell us that, well, hey, Richard Hart does it and it works out, so we're going to do it and it'll work out. And it will not, because they will then try to dump their coins on the community and wrecking everybody. So I do think that it's important to differentiate the fact that his strategy is not good for everyone. It's not good for every project. Now, there's different ways that people can protect themselves from that kind of things, right? I mean, there's ways to lock up your token so that a team cannot sell their coins early. They have to be lockups, locking up liquidity so that the team doesn't run away with the liquidity. All those tools, I think, will be available on Pulse Chain soon after the launch of Pulse Chain. And I do think that Richard Hart has definitely earned the trust of the community, but any other projects that is building, it would be a good thing if they earn your trust, and not only earn it, but they prove themselves that they will be true to their word by locking up some liquidity, locking up some team tokens as well, right? Because obviously, we do want to build we do want a big Pulse ecosystem to grow, but we want to have as much good price performance as possible. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on centralized ownership. Let me know what you think about centralized ownership. Let me know about what you think about the $18 billion sacrifice that Richard Hart did. Is it good? Is it bad? What is it? What are your thoughts on that? Thank you guys for watching, and see you again next time.